This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. Democrats' first attempt at responding to the back-to-back mass shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas, failed in the Senate. AP's Ed Donahue reports.
Republicans blocked a domestic terrorism bill that would have opened debate on hate crimes and gun safety. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he'll give bipartisan negotiators in the Senate about 2 weeks while Congress is away for a break to try to forge a compromise. Texas Republican John Cornyn says this must make a difference.
One thing we should not do is to try to pass something that will have absolutely no impact on incidents like this, just to score political points or make ourselves feel good.
Connecticut Democrat Chris Murphy is optimistic.
I'm hopeful there's growing momentum, but I have had I have failed plenty of times before.
Murphy has been working on gun legislation since the 2012 attack at Sandy Hook Elementary in his home state. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Law enforcement authorities in the southwest U.S. state of Texas are facing tough questions about their response and the length of time it took them this week to storm a school to confront the teenage gunman who shot to death 19 children and 2 teachers on Tuesday. Officials say the gunman was in the school for 40 minutes to an hour before law enforcement officers broke into the 4th grade classroom where he had killed 21 people at Robb Elementary School in the small town of Uvalde, Texas. At least one parent told AP that he discussed with other bystanders the idea of storming the building themselves because they didn't believe that police were moving fast enough. That parent's daughter was killed in the attack. You can keep up on this story and all the stories we're covering at our website, voanews.com. From Washington, this is VOA News. A Ukrainian official on Thursday said advancing Russian forces came closer to surrounding Ukrainian troops in the east, briefly seizing positions on the last highway out of a crucial pair of Ukrainian-held cities before being beaten back. Russia has poured thousands of troops into eastern Ukraine, attacking from 3 sides in an attempt to encircle Ukrainian forces in Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. The fall of the 2 cities, which straddle the Seversky Donetsk River, would bring nearly the whole of Luhansk province under Russian control. Luhansk Regional Governor Serhiy Haidai said around 50 Russian soldiers had reached the highway between the 2 cities and managed to gain a foothold for some time, although they were eventually forced back. China poses the most serious long-term challenge to the international order. That's how U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken characterized Beijing in a major policy speech on Thursday. And the Associated Press is reporting China wants 10 small Pacific nations to endorse a sweeping agreement covering everything from security to fisheries. And one regional leader warned is a game-changing bid by China to gain control of the region. A draft of the agreement obtained by the Associated Press shows China wants to train Pacific police officers to team up on what it calls traditional and non-traditional security and to expand cooperation in law enforcement. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is visiting several of the countries he hopes will endorse the plan that China is calling the Common Development Vision. Senegal's President Macky Sall has fired his health minister. This took place Thursday following a hospital fire a day earlier in which 11 newborn babies died. The babies died in the neonatal section of a regional hospital Wednesday in the town of Tivaouane, around 120 kilometers east of the capital, Dakar. Earlier, the health minister had told private Senegalese television TFM that a preliminary investigation indicated a short circuit triggered the fire. He was in Geneva for the World Health Assembly and had said earlier he would cut short his trip and return to Senegal immediately. The news of his firing came after those comments were made. The U.S. government reported Thursday that the economy shrank in the first 3 months of the year, even though consumers and businesses kept spending at a solid pace. The report is a slight downgrade of its previous estimate for the January through March quarter. And recapping our top story this hour, Democrats' first attempt at responding to the back-to-back mass shootings in Buffalo and Texas has failed in the Senate. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. This is VOA News.